The Nightmare of Unchecked Power, a dystopian vision of Trump's second term. In a chilling echo of dystopian fiction, Donald Trump enters a second term as President of the United States, wielding unprecedented control over the legislative and judicial branches and facing negligible opposition. This convergence of power sets the stage for a scenario many fear could unravel the democratic fabric of the nation, reminiscent of John Adams' oligarchical nightmare. Decimation of democratic norms. Under this worst-case scenario, the erosion of checks and balances accelerates rapidly. Executive orders become the norm, bypassing any semblance of legislative debate. The traditional roles of Congress and the Judiciary are diminished, compliant with the executive's overarching agenda. Policies are reshaped at a whim, unchecked and unopposed. Surveillance and control. A sophisticated surveillance apparatus is deployed under the guise of national security, monitoring citizens' digital footprints and social activities. The suppression of dissent becomes state policy, with draconian measures enforced against protesters and activists. Independent media voices are systematically silenced through a blend of intimidation and restrictive legislation. Civil liberties under siege. Civil liberties face monumental threats as constitutional protections are reinterpreted by a judiciary stacked with loyalists. Free speech is curtailed, assembly restricted, and privacy invaded. In a stark departure from American values, civil rights are redefined to exclude those deemed unpatriotic. Environmental and economic fallout. Unchecked deregulation leads to unprecedented environmental exploitation. Protected lands are auctioned for industrial gain, resulting in ecological disasters that erode habitats and food security. Economically, wealth disparity widens as tax policies favor conglomerates and global interests over struggling citizens, pushing many into destitution. Foreign relations and isolation. Globally, the U.S. isolates as alliances crumble under unilateral diplomacy. Tensions escalate into conflicts, straining international rapport and triggering a global economic downturn. The military-industrial complex thrives, driven by perpetual conflict and a doctrine of aggressive dominance. Technological and scientific regression. Political interference in scientific research stymies innovation. Climate science is dismissed, technological oversight abolished, and beneficial advancements stunted. Society regresses as funding for education is slashed in favor of indoctrination, producing generational challenges in critical thought and innovation. Societal dystopia. The societal fabric becomes frayed amidst the starkly divided populace. Propaganda fuels tribalism, and neighborhoods devolve into insular communities. Decades-old progress in social justice and equality is rolled back, and historical narratives are rewritten to favor the regime. As this cautionary tale unfolds, it paints a harrowing picture of unchecked executive power, guided by self-interest and ambition rather than accountability and service to the public. While speculative, such a scenario under a Trump administration underscores the necessity for robust institutional safeguards and active civic engagement in preserving democratic ideals.